Architectural Builder's Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
S-shaped things that hold the shutters back against the wall.
Yes, sir.
And included with your shutter dogs are these long lag bolts. And so I've got a brick house. My question is, do I need like a lead anchor to go into brick in using those long lag bolts, or can they just be used directly into the brick without a lead anchor or some kind of anchor?
Well, you're definitely not just going to run a lag screw into masonry. So you'll have to have something. Now, I don't know that it needs to be a lead anchor. That's a lot of dynamite, but it's got to be something. Yeah,
well, whatever a material is made out of, it's got to have something for that bolt to latch on to inside the masonry, inside the brick, right?
Well, for a lag bolt, yes. Now, if you were using, screws intended for masonry, like a trade name would be Tapcon, and I believe all those are too small anyway. You could potentially do it, but the proper way is where you have, a lead anchor, an expansion anchor, some sort of, even a plastic anchor would technically work because you're not doing any load really on it.
Yeah. Okay, so and I got it. I think using your bolts that came in the kit, sort of with the shutter dogs, I do just need some kind of an anchor. Whether it's plastic or lead or whatever, for those things to grab hold of inside. Is that right? I can still use those lag bolts in a brick if I have an anchor in there for them. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, maybe. It depends on what anchor you're going to use, but a lag bolt on its own is insufficient as an anchoring method into masonry.
Right. Okay.
A lag bolt would be better for wood.
Yes, I understand. I understand that. All right, so I guess one other way to phrase this, should I go get other bolts, or do you think I'd be okay using the bolts that came in the kit along with some kind of an anchor in there? What would you suggest there?
What item did you buy or buy from us?
Yeah, are you? I noticed there an individual, maybe the owner of the company, named Richard, made a video, a YouTube video that I watched. Was that you, or is that another Richard?
No, it's me. It's just it's familiar with shutter holders, but I'm asking what's the order number or what item did you buy from us?
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can see that right quick.
Concept, I need to identify what you bought so I can give you a better answer.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Once, incidentally, thank you for doing the video. That was excellent. And just practically nothing that you can't find on YouTube these days, and that's very helpful. Right. All right, I got one in my hand. Let's see if it's got a number on it. And, now that I look at it, it says Renovator's Supply, so this might not even be your product.
Well, it could be an item that we sold or sell, but it's definitely not an order that we fulfilled. So,
let me see if there's a number on it.
Yeah, so we're providing tech support on an order that you placed elsewhere. Let's move past that. Give me the part number of the item that you bought from them.
I'm not sure that it has a part number on it.
Is it on your receipt?
Probably not. I got my wife is the one that bought all these things, and I'm looking in the box that they came on. Can I give you let me give you the number that corresponds with your video. Can I do that? Because that looks
I know
exactly
what it is,
like.
but I don't know that that's the item that you bought. And the reason I'm questioning it, that Ultra 97479 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
97479, yeah. The reason I'm questioning is Ultra's been out of business for at least a year. So I'm doubtful that you actually have that item.
Uh-huh. Well, you may be right, but I'll tell you the products that you held up, including that lag bolt, look exactly like the ones that I have here in my possession.
Yeah. Okay. So, with something like that, I would be needing to determine the diameter of that lag bolt, and it's probably 1/4 inch, but I don't know for sure.
It is. I did measure that. It's 1/4 inch.
Okay, so if you've got a 1/4 inch, I would be looking to use. Yeah. So we've got an anchor intended for wood screw threaded items.
Yeah.
So it would, it would be really the question then becomes is what is the length of the anchor that's going to work? You may need to, because that bolt on the 97479 is rather long, if I recall.
You're right. It is. Yeah. It's at least 3 inches, maybe a little longer even. I can measure that also. Well,
you need to stand off from the wall, obviously, because you got to stick a shutter between there. So,
right.
I've got 1/4 inch anchors that are intended for masonry that are either 1 inch long or 1.5 inches long. I would think either is going to work because you could over drill the hole. You put a 1/2 inch, you're going to need a 1/2 inch drill bit for the masonry. And it works good. That's what I would suggest.
Okay, yeah, I just measured this bolt and it's a little over 4 inches long, maybe almost 4 1/4 inches long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something like a 1 inch anchor is what you're saying?
Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you'll have to determine what length of anchor works best. I've got 1 inch or 1.5 inches because that 4 inch bolt is going to stand off from the face of the wall quite a bit.
Yeah, right.
So I wouldn't order 1.5 inches if it was too long, and I wouldn't order 1 inch if it was too short.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, well, this helps me a lot, and I do appreciate your coming on the phone and helping here.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. And if you like, tell me your email address, and I'll send you a link. I'll send you an image of what I've got.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, so what the client is working on here is trying to figure out, obviously, how to install their shutter holder, which the discontinued part number from Ultra is 97479, and in order to find that actually on our site, you'll have to precede the search with the @ symbol like that. Hit enter, and then it'll come up. There it is. Okay, so this is the video the client's referring to. Image here. Now, the anchor that we're talking about, I can show that to you. Let's drag that over here. There's an anchor that I would suggest. 1.5 inches long for 1/4 inch screw size. This is meant for a wood thread like you'd see in a hex lag bolt, or just a lag bolt is what they're called. Now the question for the client really becomes is this. Here is an opening. Here is a window. Okay, that sort of business. Here are your shutters. Let's do this. Here's a shutter. Okay. Here is the other shutter. Here's that other shutter open. It's out of scale, I apologize. So your S holder is going to be in here. That hex bolt is going to be in here, right? The question really becomes is, your anchor is going to sit in here. We know that. It's 1.5 inches deep, so you'll have to make sure that you'll be able to accommodate that. We also have a 1-inch long 1-inch long anchor as well. However, the client said that the length of the bolts are 4-inch. I don't know that they are, but they probably are. So what you need to determine is this. 3 things. What's the clearance, the dimension from here to here? What's the thickness from here to here of the door or the shutter? What's the thickness of the S-hook? When you add all that together, you've got to be able to make sure your bolt is going to reach and bite adequately into the masonry surface. And that 1 or 1.5 inch length expandable lag shield is actually what it is going to work. So I can't tell the client what any of this is, but I can tell the client what this is, and I can tell the client how to find out whether or not that's going to work. Okay, so that's how I would go about doing it. The 4-inch length on the hex bolt, that is not by accident. That's obviously been found. Ultra didn't invent these holders. This is most certainly 18th century hardware, right? If not 18th century BC hardware, holding open your window on your domicile. So Ultra would have been copying these from some manufacturer who actually, probably 150 years ago, actually knew about the hardware in terms of what it actually does, rather than copying it and then importing it from an Asian country. So 4-inch is not by mistake. That's probably going to be really in the range. So that's what I'd be working on. And I may have said, I don't know that the client actually bought the material from us because it's been discontinued for a while. And not being able to see the client's order ID, which we've established they didn't buy the material from us. I don't really know, obviously, what they bought. So the reason that I may have seemed hung up on that is because I don't want to give advice for the wrong item. I mean, if I'm giving advice for the 97479, awesome. I at least have something to work with. But people are buying shutter S holders from who knows how many people in the world. We do just a random search for the item. Shutter S holder. You know, I don't know who the client has. So hopefully all of that helped explain what we're looking at. If you have any questions on anything technical support related, please feel free to reach out to us right there. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.